All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to this episode of Board with the Mayor. Today I'm joined by one of my favorite organizations in the city of Peekskill, the Peekskill NAACP. Thank you guys for being here this evening.
Thank you for having me.
It is exciting, it's exciting. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. A lot of people know about the Peekskill NAACP. You guys, your introduction to Peekskill is very, very strong. There's no doubt about it. There's not too many that can say they didn't hear or have any knowledge of the Peekskill NAACP. So welcome and thanks for coming. My first question though is, for those who don't know, can you give us somewhat of an idea of what it's like, or what are the responsibilities, or what do you guys do on a day-to-day basis as a Peekskill NAACP member? And anyone can take the lead on that.
Yeah, Valerie, go ahead.
On a day-to-day basis, well, I am the chair for the Public Relations and Communications Committee. So day-to-day, it's all social media and getting the word out. So we have all kind of platforms. So we have our website, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Twitter, we have a YouTube channel. Okay, so if you have a YouTube channel, please subscribe to our channel. As much or as many people that are in the Peekskill community, we need to get out the word more. And for whatever reason, and let me just also say that we do reach out to all the print ads, so Black Westchester, I can go on down the list, but we have a lot of mediums where we can actually get the word out for all of our mini events. So juggling, keeping that up to date, and making sure those who don't know about the NAACP is a challenge, but that's something that I have to do on a day-to-day basis.
Sounds interesting. Just for the record, I am a member of the Peekskill NAACP. My job is just make sure, renew your membership if you haven't.
That's
I'm just saying. So, you want to share something too, Jessica?
Sure. I am proud and privileged to be the secretary of this branch. So day to day, I mean, there's a lot of communications that I assist Valerie on. Also getting information from the state conference of the NAACP in terms of what we're doing on a state level for Peekskill. So we have a lot of coordination efforts in that regard. For example, we're going up to Albany this Monday to advocate for the city of Peekskill on many issues with our elected officials up there. So coordinating that, and there's so much going on. We have a total of, I believe, 9 different committees working in different areas. From education, health, criminal justice, you name it. So obviously as a secretary, I'm taking the minutes for a lot of these meetings. So there's quite a bit of stuff to do, and it's all hands on deck. We are always getting the word out, looking for people to join up and get involved.
There you go. Awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. They said just about the bulk of it, the important stuff. The day-to-day from where I'm sitting is all-encompassing. What are we doing to be proactive? What are we doing to react to situations? What are we doing to educate ourselves? What are we doing to lift ourselves as a board so we know more about what we need to do? How are we looking at the community in terms of civil rights and human rights and all the issues that are coming out, and we're trying to stand up against and be proactive. So the day-to-day is very busy. It's very challenging, but I think that because of the people that are on the executive board and the membership that we have, we're able to do a lot. But if we had more members, I think we could do even more.
That's right.
Yeah.
Power in numbers.
Yep.
Very true. So just from the outside looking in, what do you think your expectations are for 2018? I know you set a goal with the amount of numbers that you would try to get the first year, and I think you guys over exceeded that goal probably. What would be?
Well, not quite.
Okay, all right. Not quite,
well, it's a moving target. I mean, we always hit a goal, and then we always raise it to the next level.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
So we were instrumental in rebirthing the NAACP branch in Peekskill. Peekskill did have an NAACP branch once before.
Right.
Okay, and it was disbanded for a number of years. I'm not sure how many, but nevertheless, okay, we're back. Okay, and we came back with a vengeance, I think. But initially, the number, in order for us to even be a branch, was 100.
Right, that's what I remember.
Right.
Okay, that's
Now,
what
we
I'm speaking of.
superseded that.
Yes.
That's what I remember that. I was the conversation at the County Center,
Yeah.
somewhere over there.
So we superseded that, and our roster is somewhere up at 300. But
Right.
we look. You know how many people are in Peekskill, and one thing I do want everybody to know is that it's not just for Black people. It's the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. That's all people.
Right.
And NAACP was started in 1909. Branched off from Niagara Falls movement or something like that. And there was a few white people as well as Black. So it's not just for Black people, it's for all people. So we do want to make sure that those numbers are all inclusive. It's not, if you can see the diversity right here on our executive committee board, that's something that we strive to.
Which is powerful. And out of, there's a lot of boards in the city of Peekskill too. We get to meet, me and Mike get to meet a lot of them. But this is one of the most diverse boards that we have here, the Peekskill NAACP, which is great. It represents literally just about everybody here.
No.
So I appreciate that.
So if I could just add a little bit more onto that, because you were asking what are our goals for this year?
Yeah.
What was the goal? As far as membership goes, we would like to have 1,000 members. That's why we have that shirt with 1,000 on it, keeping it 1,000.
Keep it
We'd love to have 1,000. But our main focus this year, in 2018, is voting. And the elections, and participation, and education, and getting as many people as possible to take part in the electoral process and exercise their rights and get involved, because that's how things are going to change. And I think as we're looking around the country and we're seeing different things going on, we just had a very close race, one out in Pittsburgh, was it? Somewhere in Pennsylvania. And then we look back a little further than that. We had the close race that was down in Alabama, where people came out and won.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Came out and voted, and I can't say people came out and won, but they voted. I mean, when you participate, you win. And if people just get involved, then things can happen, because there's a lot of things going on that we need to be pushing back against, whether it's immigration or xenophobia or racism or criminal justice, healthcare, whatever it is. What's going to make it happen is voting.
Great, thank you. And that'll segue to my next question. I'm glad you stated that too. So with all of the challenges like around the city, state, country, around the world, what do you think the NAACP and Peekskill caters to most? Like what challenges do we face most, or what complaints do we hear about most in the city of Peekskill? As a councilman and a mayor now, we would hear a lot of complaints about, we got complaints about things like there were no after-school programs for kids, or, that was one of the biggest challenges that we always hear about, even now. And then there's housing and other issues like that. What do you think that Peekskill NAACP, hears the most complaints for, the most challenging issues in the city of Peekskill?
Well, if I might jump in here, I think one issue that's really coming to the forefront and galvanizing our members and just the community in general is the lack of foundation aid funding for the Peekskill City School District. And we are partnering with other NAACPs in the region, because it's not a unique problem. Unfortunately, communities of color are disproportionately affected by this lack of foundation aid funding that has been owed. Millions of dollars are owed to the Peekskill school system, other school systems, New York City school systems. And it's really important. The football field is inadequate. Students are getting injured. It's just basic necessities of needs, whether it be something like that, after school programming. So we are moving forward on a campaign to educate the community on this issue, to get people writing letters, postcards, and partnering with other organizations to, get this money for Peekskill, which is very much needed.
That's good. That's really good to hear.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah,
It's $14 million.
you guys informed me, and I was like, nah, no way. But
Schools,
we're looking into that as well. We're trying to do our part as a city to
Right.
get those funds. Because when I first heard about it, I thought it was like come on, like it's a joke, or this is. But after reading about it and actually doing a little research, it's like, wow, this is something that we need to stand up and fight for. So.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think another issue that we hear a lot of people complaining about is housing.
Yeah.
And not just affordable housing, but low-income housing, and people being able to, stay here in Peekskill, and things are just moving in such a direction. Here in Westchester County, it's very difficult to find low-income housing for a lot of people.
Right.
And that's across the county, but that's what I hear a lot of here at Peekskill when I hear about complaints. But the truth is, I don't think we hear enough complaints. And that's why we are such a proactive organization. We just can't wait for somebody to complain about something and then react to it. We want to try to be proactive, so we're already looking at how we can help with the housing issue, how we can help with healthcare, how we can help with education. We're not hearing these things, so the complaints, and then we react, we find out about them, and then we're proactive.
And, well, I'll say, they are complaining. They're complaining around the kitchen table.
Right.
So we need to get them out
Yes.
of the kitchen and start being proactive just like we are, and just realize why we're here. We're not here to fight, necessarily, physically fight. We're here to actually advocate for all the injustices that are being done, and not just and to the point of being proactive. So the whole health bill and what's going to happen with that. We have a health committee that's actually diving deep into what the new marketplace, or whatever you're going to call it, is going to be.
Right.
And that's something that a lot of people are going to be affected by that, and we need to be able to advocate for everyone to say, listen, everybody needs health insurance, and it needs to be easy for them
There you go.
to get it.
One of the things that you said I really appreciate too is not just necessarily getting people out, but actually educating them on the issues, because some people don't even realize that they're in these issues because they don't know how to get out of them. So educating them on what's actually going on and what's going wrong, I should say, in most cases, is a powerful way to get things to change.
Yeah, and indeed, but I really got to just say, we need to hear the complaints. Yeah, I think people have been conditioned to not complain because they don't think anything can be done, so that's why we don't hear them. Now, we've had maybe 5 or 6 complaints on paper since we came back. It's not enough. How successful we were, I don't think we were as successful as we wish we were. But we need to hear more. I know a lot more people are out there with issues, and they just don't want to complain or don't think it's going to help to complain. It's almost like they don't believe voting makes a difference. Listen, you got to complain, because if there is no complaint, nothing's going to change. The squeaky wheel gets the oil, and power concedes nothing without a demand, that type of thing from Frederick Douglass. So you got to complain. You got to be used to stepping out there and saying, well, I don't like this. This is wrong. It's discrimination, it's racism, it's sexism, whatever it is, it's wrong. And we got to complain about those things.
I remember not too long ago, I was having a conversation with a gentleman, and Mr. Martin McDonald's name came up, and he said, Martin McDonald is a walking solution, just looking for a problem somewhere. I was like, that's the greatest compliment you can give somebody.
Right.
Can I be a solution to everybody's problem too? I want to be that same way. So that was awesome. So just a couple more questions. One question is, for the people who really don't know, what the NAACP does, locally and nationwide, what would you like the people of Peekskill to know about the Peekskill NAACP? I mean, one thing I just want to jump in and share, and I'm jumping in because I'm a part of the organization, so I feel like I'm interviewing myself, But you guys also have a youth Peekskill NAACP now as well.
Working on it.
Working on it. Okay, all right. So I know that. I think Nikki was spearheading that. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
All right. And you guys put together a nice little album, and
Yes.
I thought that was awesome. So, but what other things do you think that, or would you like the people of Peekskill to know about the Peekskill NAACP?
Well, I mean, going back to, I mentioned the 9 committees, what the state conference refers to them is the game changers. So
Right.
we're working on so many front lines, and people don't necessarily realize that, they might just think, oh, this is a controversial thing, but we're just working day to day on common issues affecting everybody from health to education, and everything in between. Rather than just focus on, oh, wow, that's a controversial idea, or I don't know about that. Controversy doesn't exclude solutions, and it's all about how do we educate ourselves, and how are we going to be proactive. And I do appreciate the electoral strategy that the state and national NAACP takes. We're not affiliated with any political party, but we are out there on a local, state, and national level advocating for the platform of the NAACP. and which is really about equity for all people.
Equity, keyword.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. As she said so much, I don't know if I can follow that one up. I tell you, just because it's such such a blessing and a plus to our organization. That's something about, if I could tell people one thing that's really not known about the Peekskill NAACP, is we're incredibly just fortunate and blessed to have the people around us that are around us. We're working well together. We're growing together. We're learning each other. I've formed more friends in the past, I mean real friends, in the past 2.5 years than I have in my prior 12 years here at Peekskill. Nice. So it's amazing, and it's a diverse group of friends. The work that's being done, and it's sometimes challenging, sometimes it's time-consuming, but when you look back at it, it's like this is what life is about, contributing, helping, growing, learning, helping people, helping those that's less fortunate. So it's amazing. I would challenge anybody, I really would. Not challenge, I would invite anybody to come hang out with us for 3 months, and I'm sure that you'll experience something that you didn't know existed.
It's interesting because you keep answering these questions, and I got a question. I mean, I got a question that you pretty much answered it already. So, but this is for all three of you, and this is, it's more like a fun question. I'd ask every board this. So, what do you like most about working with the people or the members of the Peekskill NAACP?
Well,
She's smiling like, no, he didn't just ask that question.
Well, let me just say
I don't
this.
even like that.
The Peekskill NAACP opened my eyes to a lot. And when I say it opened my eyes to a lot is, basically when someone outside of Peekskill says, oh, you live in Peekskill, I say, yeah, and they'll say, oh, well, do you know this person or that person? Typically, and I know with me, I'm like, what church do they go to? So I was kind of in my own little bubble within Peekskill, and I'm not from Peekskill, but now I'm expanding, my knowledge of the different things in Peekskill, the different people in Peekskill, the different organizations in Peekskill. Right. I had no idea there was so many organizations in Peekskill, and it's growing. So what I would like to see is that, because if we're all working towards the same goal, why aren't we all together? Like, why are there so many different groups doing the same thing? If we're doing the same thing. But that would be my one thing, is to let people know that, you join the NAACP, you're going to learn Peekskill real fast.
There you go.
Real fast.
Good way to put it.
Yeah.
Now, what do you like most about working with the NAACP?
Well, it's just super challenging, super empowering, and I too have met so many talented, passionate, wonderful, warm, friendly people from all walks of life. It's not just Peekskill, it's the greater Peekskill area. We have a lot of members. I myself live in Cortland, but it's my life has honestly blossomed taking part in this organization, and it's not easy. It really is not easy. But because we're doing difficult work, and we're learning, we're coming off the rebirth from 2.5 years ago, and it's to sustain the amount of work on all the different fronts that we're engaging on. It's difficult, challenging, and there are tough weeks, and then the next week comes along and you see someone and you feel like you got through it, you're moving forward, you're doing something, and in the end it's super rewarding. I can't imagine what my life would be without it at this point. So
beautiful. That's awesome. I know, right? The second episode, I need some tissue or something. I'm gonna start. Mike, let me know from now on. Bring tissue at least when I get to that question. This is crazy. Some work, Mr.
No, I know we were joking off camera before. I was like, oh, I don't like none of these people. As a matter of fact, I don't think they like me. But on the real, no, it's just amazing. Working together, growing together, learning things, like you said, Valerie, learning some things that we didn't know about Peekskill. I'm learning a lot about myself, and I'm growing. And anytime you can learn something and grow, it's always a plus, man. It really is. Learning to listen a lot more to what's out there, because it's hard to do something or solve a problem without really hearing the question or hearing what it is. Too often, I think I relate it to my parenting skills. Sometimes I don't listen to my young son. I just tell him what to do.
Right.
And it's different when you're working in this organization trying to advocate for people, trying to advocate all the different issues. You can't tell people until you hear them. You can't help the people until you hear the people. Right? So you have to really, I'm learning how to really listen. And not just to the people, but the board, my executive board. I'm learning and growing with my executive board. I think them learning who I am, that I can be wrong. And I don't have to be right. I just need to be heard. And after I'm heard, if you disagree, cool. Then we don't have to do it. But at least I know you heard me.
Right. And
because I'm going to give you the same respect. I might not agree, but I got to listen to you first and see where you're at. And I think that's working. Each one of the committees is thriving. Our biggest challenge right now is the youth. We want to galvanize the youth and get that going. And I think we'll be that much stronger.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I gotta give a shout out to my grandmother. She must have been right, because she said the same thing Mr. Mark McDonald said. I gotta listen. So you was right, Grandma. My bad. Yeah, but before we close out, I just want to, I know this is going to be aired in a few days, but it's going to be on for a few weeks. But there is an event that you guys have coming up in April. I want to make sure that people at home know about. So if anyone, you could just elaborate on that. I believe it's the Paul Robeson's
120th birthday celebration.
There you go. So just give us a little information on that.
Jessica.
Yeah, this is spearheaded by the Peekskill High School and the Peekskill NAACP Civic Engagement Committee. And we realized about this time last year, oh wow, Paul Robeson is going to it will be his 120th birthday this Monday, April 9th, 2018. So we went to the school, and the students and teachers really ran with it, and we're putting together a celebration to celebrate his contributions as an orator, a political activist, linguist, athlete. I mean, this man was a Renaissance man, historical significance here in Peekskill, and he's really been inspiring for the students. They put together this amazing program. So it's going to be at Peekskill High School Monday, April 9th at 6:30 p.m. Many different organizations, from Peekskill City Singers to some drama students, the jazz band, a lot of different contributions coming from many organizations in the school. So we are thrilled and very excited as this comes together, and invite the entire community and the greater community to learn more about Paul Robeson and to celebrate our students.
That is awesome.
I have to absolutely just shout out the Civic Engagement Committee co-chairs, Madeline Bass and Gary Killawan. Just do a phenomenal job with that whole committee, and they just make us more visible in the community, all the stuff that they do. But they really spearheaded this whole thing. Yeah.
Okay, great.
And I believe as a guest speaker, Dante Barry.
Yes, we will.
Million hoodies movement.
Yeah, so that's something that everybody should come up and.
All right, so it's April 9th.
April
Yes.
9th,
Monday, April 9th at 6:30. I expect you all to be there.
Peekskill High School.
Peekskill High School. And it's free, too, isn't
Yeah,
it?
free
Oh, it's
in
free.
the auditorium.
We're
Please
going to pack
come
the
on
place
down.
now.
Yep.
That's the key word. But,
Yeah,
you know,
we got a lot of things coming up, but I would encourage everybody to follow us on Facebook and check our website. We got several meetings going to be coming up dealing with economic development. The health committee's working on something. Educational campaign with the foundation aid we're doing some big things, and we're still following up on the prosecutorial misconduct.
yeah.
Did I miss anything? We've got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Peekskill
going on.
NAACP.org.
There you go.
There we go.
At Peekskill NAACP on Instagram and Twitter, and Facebook is Peekskill NAACP.
There you go.
Yes, and Peekskill NAACP on YouTube. There you go.
She got it all. Hey, the website she missed, huh? But once again, I just want to say thank you guys for being here this evening. Those at home, as always, I hope you weren't bored watching Board with the Mayor. Until next time, have a great evening, Peekskill. Peace and love.